This isn't minor stuff. These are people that are deciding whether or not a person is potentially going to prison or going to jail.
Right now, it's next from the voting booth to the courtroom. Mecklenburg County judges sitting on the bench may not be the judges elected by the voters. Queen City News anchor Robin Kennedy investigates whether it's an injustice to voters.
Just like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The will of the people starts with the ballot. Or does it?
The judges are presiding over an electorate that did not elect them.
North Carolina voters choose their judges, but in some cases, the judge in the courtroom is not picked by the people.
It's not fair to the voters.
State law allows non-elected emergency judges to come in and preside over cases. Mecklenburg County has used them in its district court. Chief District Court Judge Elizabeth Trosh says the emergency judges have helped the county cut the backlog of cases since COVID and bring the numbers to pre-pandemic levels.
So these are a necessity, the emergency judges.
It's the only way we're able to run more sessions of court than the number of judges that we have.
Ryan Ames, a criminal defense attorney, says the problem is when these non-elected judges sit on the bench for months or even years.
They aren't accountable to the voters. You can't vote them out if you don't like what they're doing.
He says he can't think of anything else like it in government or elections.
It would be odd, for example, if Barack Obama is elected president and when things get busy, they say, hey, we've got this retired president, George W. Bush, who can step in, or if Charlotte elects Mayor Vi Lyles, and when things get busy, the retired former mayor of Salisbury comes in to take over the duties, the voters might have a problem with that.
Going back to people electing their officials, how can they hold them accountable when they didn't elect them in the first place?
That's a question for the legislature.
State lawmakers decide how many judicial seats each county gets. Mecklenburg County has 21 district court judge seats. Judge Trosh says legislators have not given the county another seat in more than 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say we need help. We need more resources. We need more judges.
She says the consequence of not having enough judges is delayed justice. Ames says when judges aren't elected, it's an injustice to voters.
The electoral process exists for a reason.
Judge Trosh says the most emergency judges she remembers having at one time in district court was 4. She says right now there are 2 emergency judges and the funding for one of them runs out at the end of June. That position in particular has allowed the district court to keep a 3rd criminal trial courtroom running. Robin Kennedy, Queen City News.
And also to point out, Queen City News reached out to District Attorney Spencer Merriweather's office for comment. However, a spokesperson declined to speak on the impact of emergency judges on prosecutors.